Hello. Keep going in, and Bernard will give you a very quick tip.
Amazing.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me all where you're sitting? I understand you're all from the United States. Yes. Well, this might sound a bit corny, but in fact, we're very fond of Americans in this church, and our fondness dates back to the Second World War. If you look up there, you can see the United States Marine Corps flag. And behind that again, you'll see one that you might recognise, but have another look at it. Because it's the old 48 Star. And they date back to the Second World War, when we had thousands of Marines from the 2nd Division in camps all around Wellington. Do any of you have a father or grandfather, uncle who was in the Marines? Well, we had the 2nd Division here, and in Auckland they had the 1st Division, and in Australia they had the Army with General MacArthur. You've heard of him, of course. He was headquartered in Brisbane. So, not only do we have that, but there's a small, just where Peter's going now, at the top of this row of pews, there's a stand there with the more detail of what I've been telling you. And there's a video that I'll show you where that is in a minute. It's about 4 minutes long, but if you push button number 7, which is marked US Marines, it actually shows Second World War footage of the Marines marching down Lambton Quay, which is our main shopping street, and it also shows a small detachment of Marines who come here each year from the embassy and have a ceremony. Now then, the church itself, built in 1866, and it's made all of New Zealand wood, local wood, and 3 of the woods, most of the woods come from a forest just about 40 miles north of here. The shape of it, you can see, is Gothic. You can see the Gothic arches. And we call it colonial Gothic or neo-Gothic because it's made of wood instead of the traditional stone. It's a wooden church, and it's made of wood for 3 reasons, 3 main reasons. There's no building stone in Wellington, it's all in the South Island. In the mid-1800s, the whole country was covered in forests, so there were trees this size, there's plenty of wood. And the third and most important reason, we get about 300 of these a year. And you just can't build in stone or in brick. Well, you can, you've got to keep building it. You know. Right. Now, if you look around, you'll see the stained glass windows and the brass plaques on the posts. They're all been given over the years in the late 1800s, early 1900s by families in memory of someone who died but who had a connection with the church. And with one exception, all of the stained glass windows were made in London, different London window makers, the exception of those 2 blue ones over there that come from Germany. Otherwise, they're all London makers. And if you think back to those days, late 1800s, say, if you wanted to buy a window or donate a window, you had to write over to the window maker in London, and then write back and backwards and forwards. You know how long that takes. I mean, there was no email. And then the window was made. It had to be put in a packing case, stuffed with straw, put in the hull of a sailing ship, and sailed out here. So from the first point when you got an idea that you'd like to give a window till it was finally installed, could be several years.